Hey, it's Jeff Walker, and I just did a big launch. It was just epic. It was the biggest launch we've ever done by a factor of we grew almost 50% bigger than our prior biggest. And when I say that, if you don't know me, I've done, I don't know how many, 17 or 18 consecutive $1 million launches, and a lot of them multi-million dollar launches. So doing 50% better than our best ever before is a pretty big deal. And we weren't quite 50%, but we were close to 50% better than our prior biggest. So it was absolutely amazing. And earlier today, I was doing our debrief with our team, which is basically where we get together and we just talk about what happened and how it went and how we can get better next time around. And the debrief process, we got a really cool debrief process. I'll have to shoot a video for you on that one, because the value and the learning really is in the debrief. That's how you get better. So in any case, as I was going into this debrief process, I was sort of breaking down everything that happened and a lot of moving parts in the launch, like everything that I loved about it, everything that I wanted to change. And I was like, okay, so why did we do so much better than we've done in the past? How did we get all of a sudden take this quantum leap? And I think it reminded me of this analogy that I've heard recently for musicians. And it's like when you start off as a musician, like on a guitar, when you're first learning, you're probably going to learn what they call these open chords, which are the easiest chords. There's an E minor, and then, like the G, G, C, D. And those three chords will get you a long, long way. The G, you can play tons of songs, and you'll probably also learn, the E and the A and the C, these major open chords, the easiest chords to play. And then after you learn those, then maybe you'll progress. You'll start doing seventh chords and ninth chords and sixth chords and augmented chords and diminished chords, and there's no end to it. And then you're going to get into scales and keep on progressing and progressing and progressing. And then when you start to master all this, then you're probably going to end up back at GCD, because that is, that's just the way. I can't tell you how many concerts I've been to where I look up there and I see these great guitarists, and they sound great and they're great. Oh, the band sounds great and everything, but I'm looking at the guys playing GCD and I'm thinking, I'm not much of a guitarist, but I can play a GCD. But the reality is I can't play it the way they're playing and who they're playing with and the way they've arranged it. So it's a long story to get to the idea that mastery comes from really nailing those basics. And that's what we did in this launch. We just absolutely mastered, who we were selling to, our avatar. We mastered our messaging to them. We mastered our launch story, and we really nailed our offer. And then we really put it together into a great sequence using, the product launch formula. I follow my own teaching. And so we really nailed those basics. And I look at so many people that are caught up in these big fancy, they're looking for the latest red button to put on their website. And they think they're just going to use some trick or some fancy tactic that is here today or gone tomorrow. Or they want to know which the latest thing to do on social or the latest thing to do on Facebook, or should I use Periscope or Instagram? They're looking at these tactics. They're saying I know there's all these different page builders out there that will build a squeeze page for me or an opt-in page for me, but which is the perfect one? That's what I need. That's not what you need. You need to get the basics right. You need to find the basic tool set, the basic tools that allow you to create your presence online. And then you just have to master who you're selling to and how you're going to sell to them and what you're going to sell. You got to get those basics, those core strategies right, because strategy wins in the long run. And the reason this launch did so well is we just hit it out of the park with those basics. We knew who we were messaging. We knew who we were talking to. We knew who our prospect was. We knew how to reach them. We put together a great offer. We were also able to motivate our partners in a huge way because we were able to articulate all those things so well and articulate who we were selling to and how we were selling to them and show them our overall plan. And once they saw that and they knew that it was a great message, and that they were going to be able to share great content, and then in the end it was going to convert in a big time way, then it was easy to get those partners motivated. So that's the core message here is don't worry so much about the tactics. I've talked about this before. It's not about the camera. It's about the idea that you're shooting video. You know, it's not about which is the perfect tool to build an opt-in page. It's that you get an opt-in page up there. It's not which is the perfect email list host. It's that you start collecting email addresses and start building your community. It's the big picture strategies that will pay off for you in the long run, and that's what you need to focus on. And that's what I continue to focus on. I keep on, after all these years, after teaching product launch formulas for 10 years, after helping people with launches for 12 years, after doing this stuff online for 20 years, I put all my time in this launch into getting the messaging right and perfectly articulating what we had to offer the market. So I think, you know, that is mastery, is when you keep on going deeper and deeper and deeper on those fundamental strategies. So I'm Jeff Walker. If you're watching this anywhere else besides at my blog at jeffwalker.com, head on over there, scroll down, leave a comment for me. I'd love to know what you think. Give me a thumbs up button or thumbs up or thumbs down. I don't care. Just give me some kind of reaction. Give me a like, because everyone likes to get likes. And let's go get them this week.